This My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Kinetic Performance, the makers of the Rolls-Royce of barbell monitoring technology, the GymAware. Guys, in season training, we rock the GymAware all the time for quite a few reasons. The first, of course, is just that, the ding. Every time the athlete hears that, they know that they're hitting exactly what we need from them at that moment. And when they don't hear it, it brings out that extra little bit of competitiveness within themselves. On top of that, that awesome ding ends out bringing together the athletes as well, pushing each other and getting each other to be able to hit numbers that they probably wouldn't hit at that portion of the year. And finally, of course, that ding helps us monitor, manipulate, and keep track of volumes and intensities so we can best dose our athletes during the season at the right time with the right amount. Guys, hop over to kinetic.com.au and check out what Evan and the team down there have, because this is absolutely a sensational product that's changed the way that we've trained our athletes. This edition of My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Valid Performance, the team behind the Nordboard, Force Decks, the Groin Bar, and Human Track. Guys, the most important ability for all of our athletes is availability, and that's the absolute goal of Valid Performance, is to provide solutions to performance professionals so that we can get the right information to make the right decision at the right time for the betterment of the athletes that we get to work with. To do this, guys, they have a wide range of validated products that focus on usability, and having been founded by the School of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences at the Queensland University of Technology, they're extremely evidence-based and they're beyond transparent. I can tell you that our time using the Nordboard and being involved with Force Decks, we have been introduced to so many amazing people that have truly helped us become better coaches, have a better understanding, not just of the technology, but also what we're doing with our athletes. So make sure you hop over to valperformance.com today to make sure you check out what they got. It's going to make you better and to do better by your athletes. Hey everybody, if you enjoy the podcast and the content that it provides, make sure you hop over and check out the all-new Strength Coach Network. The Strength Coach Network is the combination of the CVA SPS community and the Rugby Strength Coach community, bringing you what is sure to be the internet's leading resource for continuing education for strength and conditioning professionals. Combining these two resources has allowed us to bring some of the best content from some of the best minds in the world together for your one-stop shop to better improve the continuing education for not just yourself, but your entire staff. Bringing together all of the lectures from the Rugby Strength Coach community, along with the lectures exclusively done for the Central Virginia Sport Performance community, and all the lectures performed at the Central Virginia Sport Performance Seminar, make this an absolute must for performance coaches around the world. The world-class lectures at the Strength Coach Network are not all that you'll see as well. The discussion in the forums and the support and the career guidance from some of the top practitioners in the world, from people all over the world, makes this an absolute must and a great place for you to network, learn, and grow as a performance professional. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com and use the code CVASPS, that's CVASPS, to get your 48-hour trial for only $1. We're sure you're going to find great value in the Strength Coach Network and are really excited to have you involved. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com and use the code CVASPS to check it out today.
What's up, guys? Chris Hayes here, Copin State University. Checking in actually on the road to Richmond. Was just texting with Jay, so figured it was appropriate to finally get back on here for him, man. Promised him a while ago and didn't follow through with that promise, but always happy to be, a part of CVAPS and really appreciative of what Jay does with the organization. So, been a little while now since our season ended, and with men's and women's basketball, my new position here, and I've had time to reflect on my first year as a full-time coach, a non-GA, non-intern position, and a director, quote unquote, at that with basketball. So have had time to reflect and think about what I wanted to talk about, what I learned, and I think the biggest takeaway for me in my first year that I want to speak about, and not to not to come off in a pompous way about what I was willing to do or not willing to do, but just kind of a bigger picture thought process for me as I move forward with this career, in strength and conditioning and beyond, is the mindset that I came in with and definitely evolved as I fulfilled this position. Was the idea of doing whatever it takes, and I say that um, as Avengers Endgame releases. Saw it last night. It was awesome. Just talking with Jay about it, and that being one of the themes of the movie. So I figured it was only fitting, but the idea that um, within strength and conditioning, and the greater umbrella, I guess, of sports performance, there's a lot of different roles to be played, right? A lot of jobs to be done, a lot of responsibilities to be fulfilled. And this year at Copin State, just with the way the department is, the university as a whole, being in a lower tier conference, being a little understaffed, I've ended up playing, a lot of different roles and helping with a lot of different things that extended far beyond strength and conditioning. That includes, of course, performance nutrition and recovery, acute, chronic, travel meals, all those things. But even beyond that, in terms of helping with operations, on road trips and especially now recently helping with academics, now the season's over and we really need to lock into academics, helping the coaching staff with things like that, doing class checks via an app that we have and all those things. And, there were times throughout the season, and even now, that I get frustrated, like, man, this isn't part of my job. This isn't part of my job description. It's not, what I'm paid for, or I'm not getting paid for it, technically, right? But, the mindset that I try to keep and remind myself of is, what is our purpose, right? As coaches, what is our ultimate goal? Of course, it's to win games, hopefully win championships, raise some manners, earn some hardware. But we want to develop these young men and young women, as student athletes, right? As athletes and obviously as students as well. So, I guess my evolution, as a young coach is, yes, I love strength and conditioning and I want to continue down that path as a strength coach, at least for, the foreseeable future. But anything that I can do, that doesn't take away from strength and conditioning, but anything that I can do and I think we can do as coaches to help in other areas, be an extension of the coaching staff, assisting with academics, operations, that type of stuff. And I'm not saying do multiple jobs, right, and be taken advantage of, because there is probably a fine line or a not so fine line between those two things. But anything that we can do, to help these young men and women, to put them in the best possible position to be successful. Yes, of course, on the court, in the weight room, but also in the classroom and beyond, their 4-year degree, into their career as a professional. I've definitely grown a liking for. And, I think the biggest thing that I think of now in terms of how that can help me, not because it's about me, but of course, I do want to set myself up, for a bright future, especially as I get older and hope to have a family someday, is, knowing that the job, requirements of a strength and conditioning coach, especially, a sports specific one where you're going to travel and, basically, be going full time year round and doing tons of hours, is, all these things that I've been exposed to and that I've helped with, will prepare me for a different type or I guess a bigger position down the road in, now as a field, as we look at associate AD positions and oversight positions, more positions in the high school realm, being able to having helped, with all the things that, I've helped with in one form or another. Yes, they weren't part of my job description necessarily as a strength and conditioning coach, but they are absolutely preparing me for, potential leadership, administrative position down the road, to have a knowledge and awareness of things that, otherwise I would not have. So I guess, what I'm getting at is just, always be open-minded, as a coach, especially a young coach, which I still am. And even if you are doing things outside of your job description, outside of your pay grade, right? If it's benefiting, the young men and women that we're trying to help grow and mold and develop, I absolutely think it's worth it. And of course, like I said, don't let your primary responsibilities of strength and conditioning fall by the wayside and not be top notch, because that's what we're paid to do, and that's where we make our money at. But, a big takeaway for me was just really getting my hands involved with all these other areas of collegiate athletics and collegiate basketball specifically that I had never been involved in before. And, I could have the kind of the negative mindset of, man, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Why do I volunteer to help with this or that? But I've tried to take, the positive mindset and the growth mindset, thinking of, okay, well, now I know about this. I didn't know about that before. Now I understand this policy. So, years down the line, if I do want to pursue an administrative type position, an associate AD type role, in an oversight of strength and conditioning, sports performance as, our field continues to grow and develop. I think this position I'm in right now is really helping to prepare me for that, if and when that time comes. So just kind of a different take. A lot of people, I know a lot of coaches may disagree with some of the things that I'm saying and suggesting, and that's fine. I encourage, healthy debate and discussion on this topic, but just something I had been thinking about since the season ended, and as the off season, comes to a close here, not to a close, but the spring semester rather. But yeah, hope that makes sense, guys. Hope you take something from that. Would love to hear some feedback and open discussion. But again, appreciate Jay for the platform, and as always, look forward to seeing everybody at CVAPS this summer, July, I believe, 1920. So if you're not signed up, you don't have your ticket yet, please get it. Really excited to be down there in a couple months to see everybody. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.